Welcome to you in person, with us on Zoom and later on YouTube, to this Unitarian Universalist Society. I'm the Reverend Rachel Hayes, minister of this congregation. I use she, her pronouns. And today we welcome a special guest speaker, Andrew Grant. Each of us here comes with a story full of everyone we have ever known, every decision we make, and every possibility for the future. We are one people of many stories. We are all growing, all learning, all loved. Just as you are welcome here. Come into this sacred time and space, set apart from the rest of the week by intention, by commitment. Come to give and receive comfort. Come to rest your weary heart. Come to reconnect with community, with beauty, with yourself. We are not stuck. We are co-creating. I'll say it again, we are not stuck. We are not stuck in the past of our worst actions. We can repair and move forward. We can learn and grow. We are not stuck in others' ideas of who we are or should be. We can define ourselves. It is our birthright as human beings to make meaning and to do so together, to tell the stories that have brought us to this moment and to create our story going forward together. The stories we make together matter. Come, let us worship. I invite you to say our congregation's chalice lighting words with me as Jeff lights the chalice. We light this flame to invite a world of peace, where we heal the wounds, where we share what we have with one another, where justice is another word for relationship, and we listen for what love has to say. I invite you to rise in body, spirit, heart, and voice to sing our first hymn, Building Bridges, on the screen, and your order of service, a number 1023 in the teal hymnal.
Good morning, my name is Andrew. I'd like to invite the young people to join me up front. Well, good morning. I am visiting you here today, and that's what I want to talk with you about, is what it takes to be a good guest in a new place. And I'd like to do a little bit of math and talk about some of the names of places. Imagine that this running mat here is a long river, 400 miles long. And it has a name, Quinetiqua, which means, in the original language of the people who lived here, long tidal river. Can you say Quinetiqua with me? Quinetiqua, long tidal river, 400 miles long. And guess what? We're right in the middle of that river. And the people who lived here called themselves the Nanatuk, meaning middle of the river people. Nanatuk or Norwadik, depends on who you're talking to. But if you see the Nanatuk Rail Trail, that's talking about the people who were here. Can you say Nanatuk with me? Nanatuk? Okay. Did you know that people have been living here for about 12,000 years? Amazing. Well, 20,000 years ago, the world was very cold, and we would have been under mountains of ice here. But about 15,000 years ago, that ice began to melt, and about 12,000 years ago, that river started to flow. I want to show you a way of remembering this, and you can all join me, if you will. Imagine this is 20,000 years. 15,000 years ago, the ice melts. 12,000 years ago, people started living here and living well. Hundreds and hundreds of years of life, happy families, in balance. And then right about here, people came on ships. And I wonder what advice you would have for people who came on ships. What would you say about coming to a new place? What would you want to do? Any ideas? Well, I think it would include things like playing nice, sharing, being polite, learning from each other. So that's the message today, is what would it take to be a good new visitor in a place? Thank you.
So today, both the elementary and transitional and junior youth will all be joining together to get to pick our pageant for the year. So we have a couple stories to read to them, and they'll get to discuss and figure out what they want to do. So it'll be a lot of brainstorming today.
Anything to add?
We might have a dance party.
Nice. All right, let's all of us who are staying upstairs rise in body and spirit to sing our next hymn for the Earth Forever Turning, which is number 163.
For our life, for all we cherish.
I'd like to thank Reverend Rachel for sharing the pulpit today, for Roger and John for helping to bring me here, and Kate. My mother's parents were members of the Unitarian Universalist church in Weston, Massachusetts. My grandfather loved to sing in the choir. My father was a United Methodist minister who had a 40-year career in New Jersey. He first experienced his calling to ministry in this valley as a student at Amherst College, and I've brought a hat. This is from the 50th reunion, class reunion, that was held in 2005. And I'm thinking of my dad today. When he heard that his granddaughter was going to Williams College, he blanched, but soon got over it. My father's loyalty to Amherst and to this place runs deep. He had the good fortune of encountering a giant of a man at Amherst College, whose name is Thayer Green. You might have known about Thayer. After fighting in World War II and helping to liberate concentration camp there and other impressive encounters with confronting the problem of evil, essentially, he came back and was the associate minister at the Congregational Church here in Amherst. But when that pastor left to another pulpit, he became the minister of the church and the chaplain of the college. And my father had the experience of Thayer Green being his chaplain and directly influencing his calling to ministry. I met Thayer Green in his 90s and had the blessed opportunity of working with Thayer in a therapeutic relationship. And when Thayer declined in years, he directly handed me over to my dear friend and mentor, Dr. Ed Tick. And we've been traveling together in important work, deep work. What I have appreciated about Ed, with all of his pilgrimages to Vietnam and to Greece and the books that he's written, is how he is clearly saying to many people, anyone who is listening, it is known how to heal the wounds of war, Pete. It is known. It has been known for thousands of years. In the Manner of Friends, I'm accompanied today by elders. Ruth Hazard is with us in person, and Don Campbell is with us remotely. Ruth clerked the first meeting for business that I witnessed in the Quaker way, and I was so impressed with the Manner of Friends. It reminded me of the saying of Tertullian, see how they love one another. And Don Campbell has, for his whole life, carried a concern for indigenous relations. And that is why I am here today. I have, on behalf of the Quaker meeting, taken up this concern for indigenous relations. It's supported by my meeting, and I've been asked by your Indigenous Awareness Circle to come and consult with you, but also to bring a message today. I'm no longer preaching every Sunday. I'm not studying the Bible like I used to. In fact, when I came to the Quaker meeting, I put the Bible aside. It was a kind of fast for me for about a decade. But I found over time that I was sifting through the rubble of my religious life and finding nuggets. And from time to time, they would surface hymns and verses from Scripture. And that happened for me when I came to consult with your group. I had a passage that recounts when Jesus gave Simon a new name. He said, "I tell you, you are Peter from Petros, rock, and on this rock I will build my church." A significant name change and complicated, because that whole passage of Peter, it was used to authorize the Holy Roman Empire and all of the harm that came. But name change is found throughout the Bible. It's also part of the indigenous experience here where we live of a significant life change, a new name. Moving through time, a new name. So it's a known, yeah. My challenge today is not to preach. Old habits die hard. The title of my message, of course, comes from Romeo and Juliet. What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would be as sweet, would smell as sweet. Juliet Capulet and Romeo Montague were from warring families. Their names signal the crisis in this tragic tale. I have not come here today to tell you to change your name. The Unitarian Universalist Society of Amherst. It's not my place. Rather, I am here as friends from a neighboring congregation to witness you holding the question, what about our name? The story's told of when William Penn first met George Fox, who's credited as one of the founders of the Quaker movement. It's said that Penn, as the son of a British admiral, wore a sword. And he asked Fox, "What should I do about the sword?" And Fox said, "Wear it as long as thou canst." Now, it turns out that's an apocryphal story. It only appears in the 1800s, but it's reflecting a deeper message that does come directly from George Fox. He wrote, "And look, whether the seed of war is in thee. If it be there, it will bring forth fruit. But war is not in the lamb's seed, for the lamb's seed suffers war." And from that, we derive in the Quaker community that test. Is the seed of war in it? Any decision, any engagement, any possession, is the seed of war in it? So to the question, what about our name? I invite you to attach that test. Is the seed of war in it? After the death of my father in December of 2017, I experienced what I can only call a summons to move from Greenfield, where I was living, to Amherst, to join the Pioneer Valley co-housing community. And within short time, I was here and happy, and things seemed to really fall into place. the Quaker meeting right down the way, this rich environment. But I had an uncanny sense that I can only name as enclosure. Enclosure, what is that? I soon realized that the names of the places put in stark relief the structures erected for the comfort and security of white settler descendants like myself. And I began to notice and to unpack the names. Amherst, as you've been considering, the town is named in honor of Sir Geoffrey Amherst, Commander-in-Chief of the British forces in North America, who wrote to Colonel Bouquet at Fort Pitt, quote, "You will do well to try to inoculate the Indians with smallpox by means of blankets, as well as to try every other method that can serve to extirpate this execrable race." To extirpate this execrable race. And there's more to support the claim that Amherst was an Indian hater and enacted colonial violence across the land. I moved into Pioneer Valley co-housing. That term, Pioneer Valley, was initiated in the 1950s as a marketing campaign to draw tourist traffic to come out to this valley. At the time when the Mass Pike emblem, do you remember this? Was a pilgrim hat with an arrow through it. And I had moved into Pioneer Valley co-housing. Mount Toby Friends Meeting, which you all have heard about, in the town of Leverett. The meeting is named for the nearby mountain, which was renamed at the time of the American Revolution when a British military, a naval commander, Captain Elnathan Toby, was traveling up the river and is credited as the first white man to summit what was known for hundreds of years at least as Conquachu, Spiked or Rough Mountain, or maybe Porcupine Mountain. I'm a member of a meeting that's in the New England Yearly Meeting in the Religious Society of Friends. That name, New England, was used first by explorer John Smith when he wrote a prospectus to promote settlement and investment in this place. The Quakers, upon arrival, once they got organized, used that name and have used it for this entire period. I do have a fantasy, which I mentioned to the committee. If I could just wave a wand and change the names, New England Yearly Meeting would be Northeast Yearly Meeting, Mount Toby Friends Meeting would be Porcupine Mountain Friends Meeting, Amherst would be Amethyst, Turner's Falls, where I now live with my partner May, Turner's Falls, named after the commander of the raid, the massacre of people in 1676, would be renamed Thunder Falls, after that name Peskiomskat, which is what it was called traditionally, Thunder Rock Place, Thunder Falls. If I could flip the switch, But it doesn't work that way. We live in community, we live in society, and we face all kinds of challenges. I do have direct experience with one name change. What was Pioneer Valley Co-housing is now Cherry Hill Co-housing. From the outside, that might seem simple, but from the inside, it was an ordeal. 3 years in the making. Concerns about loyalty to the original name, the reputation that the community had based on that name, resistance to change, practical implications. What about the bank accounts, the signage, on and on and on. But eventually, through a long process, we came out the other side with a new name that we could all live with, Cherry Hill Co-housing. You may be wondering, why go to all that trouble? And there's a direct answer to that question. The appeal of people who've lived here and been at home in this place is, first of all, to be seen, to be recognized. And second, to stop doing things that cause harm. People we meet on the Red Road, as it's called, not a racial designation, but a spiritual path, the Red Road, are picking up the pieces in a landscape where the worst things imaginable have already happened. Today, many would apply technical terms like ethnic cleansing and genocide. But the lived experience speaks for itself. The grievous truth is that the peoples who were at home here for millennia, as you know, since the glaciers melted and left a fertile river valley, were targeted for destruction by Amherst and so many others. The balance of life tipped catastrophically through colonial violence. So much harm has resulted, a deep trauma reverberates in the land. So it is an act of faith to believe that more truth can come to light and healing is possible. That a thriving coexistence can still happen. That balance can be restored. In the words of Julian of Norwich, we trust that all shall be well. All manner of things shall be well. Native kin are in resurgence across Turtle Island. Our Nipmuc and Abenaki near neighbors are here extending friendship, teachings, sacred instructions, and at times asking for collaboration as we seek together to live in a good way. How will they know that we are ready? What signs will they see? What if we continually test with every fiber of our being, is the seed of war in it? What if we continually seek what love and light require? What would stay the same? What would change? My advice is don't change your name if it feels forced. If it is a change in name only, if it is disconnected from communities impacted by colonial violence. Matthew's here, and I want to mention how important it's been to be sure that the Odinong powwow takes hold here. That word Odinong is Ojibwe. It means where hearts gather. We are being invited, friends. What if we imagine the young William Penn, the son of that British admiral, becoming a convinced friend and asking if he should drop the sword? Hearing the answer, I advise thee to wear it as long as thou canst. The prayer is responsive. If you would turn to number 508, please. This is a prayer for the people in the Anishinaabe tradition. Grandfather, Great Spirit, Creator, look at our brokenness. I'm so sorry. 518. Okay. Grandfather, Great Spirit, Creator, look at our brokenness.
We know that in all creation, only the human family has strayed from the sacred way.
We know that we are the ones. I'm sorry. We know that we are the ones who are divided. Grandfather, Sacred One, teach us love, compassion, and honor.
That we may heal the earth and heal each other.
another world is possible. Each week we collect an offering and we split it with an outside organization to help us remember that we can't make the world a better place on our own. During November, our congregation generously shares half of our offering basket with YARN, the Young Adult Revival Network. Half of the money collected in our offering today supports the life of our congregation. The other half of the money will support YARN in nurturing the spiritual lives of Unitarian Universalist young adults. Please give generously today in the basket, by text, by check, or through our website, uusocietyamherst.org/donate. We are about to sing our closing song. You are welcome to stay right where you are and be held in the love of our congregation, or to rise and move into a circle in the aisles. Place your hands over your heart or hold hands with the people near you as we sing This Day We Come. We forgot to extinguish our chalice. I got real excited about things. We're going to light it again in a second, but sorry about that, Jeff. Okay, please join me in the words to extinguish our chalice. From wherever you are. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
In the words of a Hawaiian healer, translated into English, love prevails all trauma. May we be strengthened in love and go forth in peace.